Hey everyone, welcome to tonight's recap of Survivor Blood vs. Water.
San Juan Del Sur.
2.
Del Sur. Del Sur? Nah. Last time, Val was voted off.
Yes. She made a real mistake by being like, I have 2 immunity idols.
2?
I don't. Alright, so back at Coyopa, Baylor is like, whoa, that was a huge wake-up call.
I was almost blindsided. I'm gonna have to start fighting for myself.
You should have been doing that from the beginning.
I can't trust anyone anymore, especially Josh. He was the one who gave me that first vote.
Well, it seems like John still doesn't get that Val didn't have the immunity idols.
He's like, I don't know what happened.
I told her to use them, and she didn't do it.
All right, somebody should clue him in.
All right, over at Hunapu, Drew is like, guys, monsoon's coming. We need to get ready, so get to work.
Exactly. They realize that the roof is on fire. No, it's not strong enough to withstand.
As Drew said, it's like Swiss cheese up there.
So we're gonna have to reinforce it somehow. So they figure out by weaving the palm fronds, it will be much, much stronger.
All right, so a lot of the guys are even helping out. It's going great, and then Drew's like, this is too hard. I'm not doing this.
I'm really sleepy, guys. I'm gonna take a nap. So everyone's getting annoyed.
He's napping right in the workspace to top it all off.
So I think it's Natalie takes a palm frond and is like doing
I thought she was gonna stick it up his nose, but
that would have been awesome.
Yeah.
Practical jokers. Should have done more.
Well, he was PO'd. He was like, I'm trying to sleep here. And they're all like, you don't do anything. We're pissed.
Well, wake up, because it's time for the reward challenge.
All right. So this is Hunapu's chance to see who's missing from the Coyopa tribe.
And when Jeremy sees that it's his wife that's missing, he is super pissed.
Yeah.
He starts yelling at the women of the other tribe, you gals better wake up, because the guys are taking over and they're exterminating you.
Yeah.
So John...
he tries to clear things up. He's like, Jeremy, I'm sorry. I did everything I could to try to keep Val here. I tried to persuade my alliance.
That was a huge reveal for the people in your tribe.
Who's in your alliance, John?
Guys. Alright, and Val. Alright, so this is a pretty fun challenge.
Right.
It's 1 against 1 from each tribe, and it's a shaky plank, and you've got these tiles piled up, and you have this tiny little spatula, and you have to transfer at least 6. Well, 6. You might drop some along the way, but you have to end up with 6.
If you drop it, you gotta go back.
Yeah. There's no picking it up.
Alright, so there is a choice for the winner in this challenge. You either get the beautiful new comfort items, you get like a comforter, pillows, a tarp, things like that, or you could get the fishing gear
that they were trying to give away last week, but nobody picked door number 3.
Right.
So again, they're gonna do the rock, paper, scissors thing, and Coyopa wins the rock, paper, scissors.
So Wes is all like, well, I don't think my daddy would be very good at this. So he wants to go up against his dad.
Father versus son.
Or Wes versus Keith.
Alright, so it was pretty neck and neck.
Keith was actually in the lead for a little while.
Yeah, and then Jeff, you gotta stop talking during the challenges. It really makes people very nervous.
Well, Wes managed to pull ahead, and then it was pretty much over because Keith dropped one.
I was really pulling for Keith.
I was too.
Alright, so Wes wins for Coyopa and breaks their losing streak.
They finally won one.
Finally won something.
Yeah, so Keith is very emotional.
He's crying.
Again.
Wes is crying because Keith is crying. The people in the gallery there crying. Jeff will never cry. Forget it. There's only one time on the show I remember him like really getting emotional.
When was it?
Wasn't this time.
Okay. So Wes has to make a decision here. Who are you going to pick from your tribe to join your Faja on Exile Island?
Well, Wes picks Josh because he gets along with him and he thinks his daddy will get along with him as well.
All right. So, another decision for Coyopa. Which reward are you going to pick?
Comfy pillows, or do you want to eat?
They decide they want to eat. They're pretty hungry. So they go with the fishing gear.
I probably would have picked the fishing.
All right. Well, on the way out, John Rocker, he's whispering to Jeremy. He's like, man, I did everything I could. I did everything.
Jeremy is not buying it.
No.
He wants John Rocker out, and that is final.
He's coming after you.
All right. So at Hunahpu, Jeremy is telling everybody all about the trials and tribulations of John Rocker in a New York City subway car with gay people over here,
No.
black people over here.
The thing that kills me, he was like, John Rocker said racist and homosexual things. Not homophobic. Homosexual.
Yeah. So Julie is John Rocker's girlfriend.
Yeah, she's off on her own. She can't deal with these people right now.
She doesn't. They don't know my John like I know my John.
Yeah, well, I just think it's interesting how Jeremy didn't care about these things until now.
Right.
Really?
All right. Well, over at Exile Island, it's old choose and earn time.
Mm-hmm.
So Keith, wise to what's going on because
he's been through this before,
says we're gonna share, right, Josh?
Josh, can we share?
He got screwed by Val, fast talking cop.
All right. Well, Keith ends up getting the clue. And Josh gets the blank paper, so he does share with him, and they talk about like, ooh, who do you think has it? There's one on each camp.
Yep. They think John's got it.
Yeah.
And they think Jeremy might have it.
Possibly.
All right, so let's get some snails. They meet over a steaming pot of snails. They're total BFFs now.
They are.
But Keith is drawing the line at some spooning. He's like,
they're sleeping on different sides of the fire, okay?
There ain't many Joshes where I come from, but you just stay on your side of the fire and I'll stay on mine.
Right, but those two are really getting along well.
I love it. All right, so back at Coyopa, John is catching fish for the tribe.
He's making himself useful.
But Baylor senses that she could be going soon.
She knows she's at the bottom of the totem pole.
So she tries to pull in Wes and Alec and be like, you know what, we can make a really big move here if we start another alliance.
With Jacqueline.
Right.
And get rid of John this week.
Oh.
So they're like, well, let's just focus on winning the challenge.
Well, what a coincidence. It's time for the immunity challenge.
Wow!
So this time it is pairs tied together at the waist.
They're competing in rounds.
It is a twig rat's nest with a hoop in the middle.
Yeah, so they have to navigate through the nest. You could go over or under all the obstacles. You have to find your team's ball, bring that back to, I guess it was the middle, right, where the net was?
I don't know if you actually had to bring it back.
Well,
I mean, you wanted to get as close as possible,
yeah.
But I mean, if you were confident in shooting, you probably could have shot from anywhere.
Well, the first one to get the point gets the point. To make the basket gets the point.
Right.
So the first tribe
each round
to 3 wins.
All right. So Dale and Keith are sitting out because they
Jeff
had
was
to
like,
even it up.
The 2 old guys.
That was so rude. All right. Well, Josh and Baylor versus John and Natalie were the first matchup, and John got the goal pretty much right away.
Well, I think they missed the first time.
Did they?
I don't know.
I'm thinking of a different round then.
The thing that sucked about this, if you miss, you gotta go get that ball. So you gotta go through the
you hope it doesn't rebound like far, far away from you.
Yeah.
So up next were Wes and Alec. These two are like freaking inseparable. I wonder if you could like pick your own or they had to do it by a draw.
I don't know.
And then Missy and Julie.
Now this was a little nasty because it looked like Wes ran right into Julie.
Yeah. But Wes ended up getting the point. So I guess it worked to his advantage. Now, John and Jacqueline were tied together versus Drew and Reed. And Rocker is a freaking pitcher. He's pretty accurate. So
I think he also ran into one of them, kind of as retaliation.
Yeah, it was getting pretty physical.
And they were like, bad sportsmanship, rocker.
Yeah, the comments this season during these challenges are priceless.
Oh my gosh, Dale cheering on the side. Good job, Wes!
So that means it is not even right now.
It's 2-1, Coyopa.
Right. Next up is Josh and Baylor, and Jeremy and Kelly.
Right.
So Jeremy's pretty pissed. He scores.
He does.
So that means it's tied up now.
So this is it. Wes and Alec versus John and Natalie.
Both of them put their repeat goal scorers, so it was very evenly matched.
And I don't know what exactly happened here, because there was another collision.
Right.
It looked like Natalie was the one who initiated it.
Natalie was pretty fired up during this whole challenge.
And I think Wes answered back.
Yeah. It started getting ugly.
It was pretty nasty.
But John ended up scoring, and he he kept the streak going for Hunahpu.
That means Hunahpu won immunity for the 3rd time.
Wow. So that means Coyopa is going to Tribal Council for the 3rd time.
But that's not all, because things got really crazy once the competition ended.
Natalie starts shooting off her mouth at John, calling him a racist and a homophobe. And
she's like, oh, you girls need to vote him out. You're letting a racist lead you and blah, blah, blah.
And Jeff is like, what the F is going on here? This is my show. Shut up.
Yeah.
So he's like, Julie, tell everyone what's going on. And Julie's like,
you don't know him.
You don't know my man.
Yeah.
No, she's like, it's something from his past, an article, everyone's nobody actually explains what it is.
But they all know.
Yeah.
And John's tribe mates are just like, yeah, we're going to stick by him.
So instead of stupid ass John Rocker saying, look, this was an article, maybe it was taken out of context, if anything was said that offended anybody, I'm sorry.
That's not what he said.
No.
Natalie kept going, and he was all like,
if you were a man, I'd knock your teeth out. Really? Is that how you try and smooth things over?
Yeah.
That was pretty stupid.
And then he's like, take all this stuff down, let's fight.
If you really were taken out of context, which I really don't think you were, you should have tried to smooth this crap over. But no, you just let it build up into giant piles.
All right.
Till everyone was buried.
Well, after all that, Jeff was just like, all right, let's go. I got nothing for you. Get out of here.
So over at Coyopa, John is a target. He senses that.
Yeah.
He thinks, wow, people don't really like me very much, do they?
Yeah, so he is trying to fix things up so that he won't have to use his immunity idol this week. So he's telling the girls, we're going to blindside Dale this week. He's not good in challenges.
He's an all fought.
Yeah, so they're like, oh, yeah,
he's dead wood. We gotta get rid of the dead wood.
Right. So his plan is to get them to vote out Dale, and then he's gonna have everyone vote out Baylor anyway.
Right. Well, that's kind of screwy because Josh is telling everyone, meaning Wes, Baylor, and Alec, you know what? I don't like this whole thing that he was working with Val. Maybe this is the time we should really switch things up and get John out while we have the chance.
They only need 4 votes to make a big move.
And they could possibly have them if Alec agrees to it.
And he's all like, I don't know, dude, like, taking out one of our strongest athletes, I don't know, man.
It's almost as stupid as me.
All right, so let's talk about Tribal Council.
What up, John? Probsty wants to know.
He's like, honestly, I did what I could. And for real, though, he really did try to save Val last week.
All right, but Wes is like, why was he trying to save Val?
Yeah.
Because she doesn't have a wiener last time I checked. She's not in the all-boy alliance.
That's right.
So everybody's pissed. They're like, Jeff's like, what are you going to do? Well, we can't vote out Natalie because she's not on our tribe yet.
Already got rid of her sister.
Yeah. John is saying he's not the leader. Him and his bromance are like equal partners in the whole alliance. So Jacqueline starts opening her big freaking mouth and is like,
girl.
Jeff, there's a shift in the tribe.
I think a guy's going home.
I was like, shh, you're blowing it.
Yeah, because if they tip off this vote during tribal council,
he's going to use the idol.
Right.
So Josh is like, oh, you know, some people don't know what they're talking about.
Who knows what's going to happen? What?
Yeah, and I was just waiting for John to, like, have that light bulb go on over his head and, like, dig into his pocket and take out that immunity idol.
Right, so...
Brain don't work.
So they have the vote, and then Jeff's all, if you have a hidden immunity idol and you want to use it, now's the time.
What the hell was John Rocker doing? He was all like... Finally, after they, like, made me almost crap my pants, they're like, all right, he's not using it. And he's freaking blindsided. Thank you.
Got voted out. And he's all like, dang, I had the idol right in my pocket.
Man, he's stupid.
All right, so next time, Drew's getting a little bit too big for that SoFlo whatever.
SoFla. All right, so Drew wants to take over. And furthermore, at the reward challenge, he's like, dude, Jeff, guess what? I gotta tell you something. Nobody had the courage to bring this up, but...
What? And Jeff was all like, oh, I love this. Keep this going. So you know it's gonna be good.
Yeah.
You know it.
You know when Jeff doesn't like somebody and he really wants to, like...
He's loving it. He's loving it.
Yeah, you do it, Jeff. Till next time.
Much love.
Edit.